2,000 people that work for him, okay? So, somebody said he's working 18 hours a day. Jack Reed blamed me for his heart attack. Come on, give me a break. This guy's going to work 18, 20 hours a day no matter what. That's what we do. You know, I did that for years because you got to get the job done, and you try to do everything yourself. So we're not going to go down that road.
Just so you all know, I did that for years. He was a football coach. That was Alabama's Republican Senator Tommy Tuberville shrugging off concerns that his shameful months-long hold on hundreds of military promotions is making it harder for personnel to do their jobs, seemingly comparing it to his time coaching college football. Marine Corps Commandant General Eric M. Smith was hospitalized last weekend, with sources telling the New York Times he suffered an apparent heart attack. For months now, General Smith has been filling two of the Marine Corps' top posts due to the hold put in place by Tuberville over the Pentagon's policy on abortion access. When asked about his work schedule recently, Smith said it was, quote, not sustainable. On Thursday, the Senate was able to bypass Tuberville's blockade and confirm three senior military officers, including Navy Admiral Lisa Franchetti, the first woman to command the Navy and the first woman to be a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Still, more than 370 promotions remain in limbo. Joining me now is Sabrina Singh, Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary. Sabrina, thank you very much, as always, for coming to the Sunday show. Before we get into Senator Tuberville, just quickly, how is General Smith doing?
You know, he's, I think, doing well. We're hoping for a speedy recovery, hoping that he is able to come back in and assume the duties of the commandant. So we're really wishing his family well, and I know the secretary has been in touch with his family during this time. And
so with General Smith out, who's running the Marines?
Well, as you mentioned, we did just have three other general and flag officers confirmed just this past week. So the filling in for the commandant role is the assistant commandant, who was just confirmed, I believe it was Thursday. And again, we're in the same position that we found ourselves just a few months ago. The assistant commandant is now filling in for both the commandant and the assistant position. And so yet again, you have another person doing two jobs at once, and it is not sustainable, especially right now with what's going on in the world, whether it's Ukraine, whether it's what's happening in Israel. You need our very best in these Senate confirmed positions, and that's why we continue to urge the Senate to lift its hold.
Your reaction to Senator Tuberville brushing off criticism that his hold on the promotions is making the jobs of military leaders harder, and even comparing the very important work that those military officials do to what he did as a college football coach. I mean, there's a difference between the football field and a battlefield.
There definitely is a very significant difference. General Smith is someone that has served overseas, gone through multiple tours of duty. And I think it was Senator Sullivan of the Republican Party that said it best, that what Tuberville has done is a national security suicide mission. And so these holds are ridiculous. We continue to say that they impact our military readiness. They hurt our military families. And again, at a time when there's so much happening in the world, our ongoing challenge with China, with Israel and what's happening in Gaza, with Ukraine. This is the moment where we need the Senate to step up. This is the time where we need our leaders in the positions that they were selected for. And we continue to urge Senator Tuberville to lift his hold. But I think you really heard from the Republican Party that they are just as upset about this.
Well, speaking of that, let's listen to some of Senator Tuberville's fellow Republican senators who had some very strong words for him this past week.
No matter where you believe it or not, Senator Tuberville, this is doing great damage to our military. I don't say that lightly.
This power is extraordinary that we're given as individual senators, but it's incumbent upon us to use it in a reasonable way.
These are the people who are kicking in doors in Fallujah, shooting terrorists in the face. And we have people saying they're desk jockeys and they're not warriors? That's just ridiculous.
And that was Senator Dan Sullivan, who you were mentioning before, and he had more choice words to say to Senator Tuberville's face because he was sitting there. How are those words from those Republican senators? How are they being received by the men and women of the armed forces?
Well, we certainly appreciate the support. We want to see these holds lifted. The Secretary has continued to engage the Hill on just the importance that these holds have to the impact that they have to our military readiness. And so it is heartening to see senators like Lindsey Graham, Dan Sullivan, Joni Ernst take the floor and criticize Tuberville for his holds. But it's really Tuberville that needs to understand what he's doing is harming our military. Our military general and flag officers should never have been in these positions to begin with. They should never have been had a hold on them and caught up in a political process. These are apolitical folks that, as Senator Sullivan said, have served all across the world, who have taken on very fierce battles in protecting our national security interests, and they deserve our best. They deserve our Senate confirmation.
I think the last time you were here, I asked you this question, so I'm going to ask it again.
Sure.
It's a couple of them. One, has Secretary Austin been in contact with Senator Tuberville in the last few weeks or couple months?
He is not. He has been in touch with Republican leadership, Democratic leadership, but we made our case very clear to Senator Tuberville. We're not changing our policy. Our officers should not get caught up in the policy of the department because they don't set the policy. The Secretary does. And so we continue to communicate with leadership in the Republican Senate, but no real direct conversations with Senator Tuberville because he's made it very clear that his position is not changing.
And I'm jumping on the word direct communication. Has there been any communication between Secretary Austin's staff and the staff of Senator Tuberville?
Yes, we have continued to engage our legislative teams, always are in communication with the Hill, always in communication with the Senate Armed Services Committee. We have engaged Senator Tuberville's staff. We have offered to set up multiple briefings for them in terms of the impacts these holds have. And frankly, if they do not understand, come down to the Pentagon. We'll show you. We'll set up meetings with you for you to meet with the officers who are having their positions impacted. We're happy to do it. So
then invitations have been offered, but Senator Tuberville's staff has not accepted those invitations to come to the Pentagon.
Well, I'm just saying that now that, if they want to come down and see the impact of these holds, they are more than welcome to. But we have made very clear from the very beginning of when Senator Tuberville announced that these holds that he was putting in place, we made it very clear then the impact to military readiness. And you have multiple positions in the CENTCOM area of responsibility who are on hold. I mean, the DAT for Israel is currently impacted by these holds at a time when you would think we need these people in place for what's going on in the Middle East. So if they, have further questions, we are always happy to answer them. But we have been consistent about the impact this has to our military readiness, and you're seeing it play out every single day.
One more quick question for you. This on the budget, the agreement that pulled the nation away from a debt ceiling crisis. One of the requirements is if appropriation bills are not passed by January in both chambers, I believe it's a 1% cut across the board. Is the Pentagon already starting to prepare for that possibility?
Well, right now, our immediate focus is the supplemental, getting that passed through Congress. We're seeing, conversations about splitting up parts of the bill, splitting up aid. What we want to see is a supplemental pass that funds our support for Ukraine, for Israel, to meet our pacing challenges in the Indo-Pacific, and, of course, the border. And so that's really our focus right now. Of course, we're always looking ahead. We're a planning organization, but right now our immediate focus is really trying to get Congress to pass that supplemental package.
Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh, as always, thank you for coming to this Sunday show.
Thank you.